Have you ever imagined a car that can frighten off bad guys? That's the Crown Victoria. However, there are some fascinating differences between the regular model and its police counterpart. So let's explore together. From 1992 to 1997, the Crown Victoria car got a few updates on how it looked. It was made as a replacement for another Ford called LTD Crown Victoria and had better body parts and framework. They even used some of the cool stuff from Mercury Grand Marquis. One design version added more power with 2 exhausts and improved suspension. In 1996, there were small changes like getting rid of that badge and front fenders or having a new steering wheel installed. The year after that, though, they gave it an updated look inspired by Mercury again. This is where things get interesting. And did you know that police officers drive special cars? Yeah, well, this P71 model has fancy chrome accents all over along with badges stamped right onto its back bumper, which makes sense since cops use them every day. You might have noticed that some police cars look a bit different than others. That's because their wheels are made of aluminum alloy. Why, you ask? Well, these special wheels are more durable and lighter than regular ones, perfect for chasing down bad guys or zooming through the streets. Fleet operators, who take care of lots of vehicles, decided to put them on certain police cars so they could do their jobs even better. Cool, right? Now check out what's underneath these sleek vehicles. They're based on something called the Panther platform. This means their bones are shared with other similar models, including Lincoln Town Car, alongside our friend at Grand Marquis too. Plus, depending on the options chosen when buying one, expect different levels of performance, starting around V8 engines and going up through separating aluminum trunk lids, among loads of available goodies such as alloy finishes just waiting if wanted, tucking away somewhere in a sweet dealership. From 1998 to 2011, the Crown Victoria car got a bunch of changes on its outside. At first, in 1998, it got some shiny new parts like a cool slotted grille, bumper strips, and door handles made out of chrome. The mirrors were painted to match the body color, which looked really smooth next to those black B-pillars that held up the roof. Plus, there was fun stuff for your eyes like trim around the trunk deck and plastic covers over red, amber taillights. Then later in 2004, they switched things up by tinkering with how big slots cut into round steel wheels would look, but forgot about putting more chrome stripes back onto their P71 model's bumpers. Oops. But don't worry, because these cars still had exciting features such as matching colored B-pillars and bright all-red tail lamps. Fast forward another year when folks noticed something else. Now inside you could grip an updated steering wheel. So fancy, right? Eventually, brands needed ways to show off good habits, since using different fuels can affect miles per gallon measurements or make engines purr nicely. Enter slogans called Flex Fuel badges stamped right near where the fuel doors get popped open. And now here comes the king. But we're not talking about a person. It's the police version of the Crown Victoria car. These cars have some pretty cool features that make them perfect for law enforcement. One thing you might not know is that these cars have back doors that can't be opened from the inside. This helps keep people who are under arrest safe and secure while they're being transported. Back in 1998, the CVPI got an update with a new design inspired by luxury vehicles like the Mercury Grand Marquis. They added extra touches like chrome accents on bumpers and door handles to give it a more polished look. But even cooler were updates made in 2003 when they improved suspension, steering, and chassis design for better handling during pursuits or emergencies on the go. Fast forward to recent times, in 2006, additional exterior updates caused quite a high demand as well. There were bigger styled steel wheels at 17 inches, which gave those tires enough grip. Don't forget about stylish black honeycomb grills adding oomph alongside body-colored mirrors too. Nowadays, standard safety features include airbags specifically designed just in case there's any collision damage dealt upon impact as well. And let's not forget wheel tread monitoring systems either. From 1992 to 1997, Ford gave their classic Crown Victoria car a major boost in performance and engine power. First up was the standard model that had a strong 5.0L V8 engine available to customers who wanted it. But for those looking for even more horsepower under the hood, could opt instead for an impressive 5.8L V8 engine with up to 180 horses. However, there was one catch. If you went with this super powerful option, you had to show proof that you were buying it specifically as a law enforcement vehicle. But then Ford decided to make things much simpler by replacing both old engines with just one mighty new beast of an engine. A whopping 4.6-liter SOHC V8 complete with 210 horsepower now powered every single newly made Crown Vic on sale. Now let's talk about law enforcement-only versions called Police Interceptors. It had a pretty powerful 4.6-liter V8 engine under its hood. This beast could spit out an impressive 190 horsepower and kick up 260 pounds per feet of torque. Plus, it came with a smooth shifting automatic transmission for easy handling on the road. But what set this car apart was its super strong suspension system. That means it had special shocks, springs, stabilizer bars, and bigger brakes, all designed to make sure cops could chase down bad guys no matter what crazy moves they made behind the wheel. Between 1998 and 2011, the Ford Crown Victoria went through some exciting changes to its engine and performance. In 1998, the Crown Victoria got a cool makeover that included more power for its 4.6L V8 engine. The horsepower was increased to 200 HP, and if you had the dual exhaust models, you could enjoy an even higher 215 HP. Then, in 2000 and 2001, they introduced something called the Handling and Performance Package. It had a fancy torque converter that made the car perform even better. Now let's talk about the Police Interceptor, which was like the souped-up version of the Crown Victoria. The second generation of the Police Interceptor came out in 1998, and it had a super powerful 4.6-liter V8 engine. Depending on the model, it could produce up to 200 or 215 horsepower, which is pretty impressive. The 2000 and 2001 Handling and Performance Package and Police Interceptor models had an even cooler torque converter that improved their performance even more, but the upgrades didn't stop there. In 2004, the Crown Victoria Police Interceptor got its final horsepower boost. They borrowed a new air intake from the Mercury Marauder, which made the car even more powerful. From 2004 to 2011, the Crown Victoria Police Interceptor was rated at 250 horsepower, which is pretty awesome. Starting with the Crown Victoria Touring Sedan, it got some special upgrades inside to match its cool, sporty style. The seats and fancy carbon fiber details gave the inside a fun, athletic feel. Plus, they improved how it handles on the road, with better suspension so you can drive like a boss. And check this out, there are buttons right there on the steering wheel to control your music. And did you know that from 1995 to 1997, the Crown Victoria LX got some cool upgrades inside? The dashboard was redesigned so it's comfier and looks better too. You could even get a fancy sound system with a CD player and cassette deck if you wanted. Plus, the power seats had extra options for ultimate comfort. And there were new lights added in case you need help reading maps or seeing things at night. Plus, during that time, the cars police officers drove got some cool upgrades to better fit their needs. The front seats were reinforced with extra support on the sides for when they had to chase bad guys. They also added more places in the car where cops could store all of their equipment easily. Plus, they improved how much power was available so that special police gadgets could work right without killing the battery or causing other problems. The CVPI was equipped with an improved two-way radio system for better communication between officers. And if you've ever been inside a cop car, hopefully not in trouble, then maybe you felt like it was pretty tough and durable inside. That's because they made sure everything from floor mats to seat covers would hold up against everyday use by law enforcement. And did you know that back in 1996 and 1997, the Crown Victoria LX Sport was made for people who love to drive? They added some cool stuff on the inside like special seats and shiny aluminum accents. The car also got upgrades so it could handle better while driving fast or taking turns. And if you wanted a little more fancy pants action, they had an option with a sunroof. Plus, there was extra speakers and music amps available, which meant your tunes would sound super awesome as well. From 1998 to 2011, the regular versions of the Crown Victoria underwent several interior upgrades. In 1998, the interior received a redesigned dashboard, an improved instrument cluster, and upgraded materials. The 1999 model introduced an optional power-adjustable driver's seat, while the 2000 model offered an optional electronic climate control system. In 2001, the interior design was refreshed with updated seat fabrics, door panels, and a redesigned steering wheel. The 2002 model featured an optional rear seat DVD entertainment system, and in 2003, heated front seats became available. The 2004 model focused on improving sound insulation for a quieter cabin experience. In 2005, the interior received a significant refresh with a redesigned center console, updated door panels, and seat fabrics. The 2006 model introduced an optional navigation system, and in 2007, an optional power-adjustable passenger seat was added. The 2008 model offered an optional Bluetooth hands-free phone system, and in 2010, a USB audio input became available. The 2011 model featured upgraded materials, finishes, and redesigned seat cushions for enhanced comfort and luxury. Now, if we talk about the police versions of the Ford Crown Victoria, it underwent a series of interior upgrades to enhance functionality, comfort, and safety for law enforcement officers. The 1998 to 2002 Crown Victoria Police Interceptor saw improvements in seating materials, instrument cluster design, HVAC system, and the introduction of power-adjustable pedals. The 2003 to 2005 models featured a column-mounted gear shifter, upgraded audio system, optional rear seat air conditioning vents, and improved front seats. From 2006 to 2011, the Crown Victoria Police Interceptor received a redesigned center console, optional trunk organizer, auxiliary audio input, and an upgraded electrical system. The 2009 to 2011 models offered the Comfort Plus package with enhanced seating materials, optional power seats with memory function, upgraded interior lighting with brighter LEDs, and improved noise insulation. Pretty cool stuff if you ask me. The Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor and its civilian counterpart have some big differences in their electrical systems. One of these is how much power they get. The CVPI has a better system that gives more juice to the battery and alternator compared to regular models. But even with this upgrade, there have been some recalls for specific issues with the CVPI's electrical components. These include problems like malfunctioning door locks, window troubles, and brake light switch failures. Don't worry though, it just goes to show how dedicated we are to making sure everything runs smoothly. But wait, did you know that there are two versions of the Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor? One major difference between them is their ability to use a type of fuel called E85. From 2008 onwards, all CVPIs were built to be flexible enough to run on this alternative fuel source. Plus, they also had fuel tanks bigger than the usual cars. This shows how forward-thinking Ford was when it came to enhancing its car's capabilities. But that's not all. Changes were also made to improve the safety features of the vehicle. Modifications like bigger front headrests were added so that they met new crash rating standards and helped protect passengers if an accident occurred. It just goes to show how committed Ford is in making sure their vehicles meet high safety requirements for everyone inside them. And if you think that it ends here, did you know that the lighting control processors used in different years of CVPI cars were not all the same? For example, from 1995 to 1997, there was a special connector for high beams on the module that controlled lights, but this wasn't included in models made after 1998. Also, some changes were made to how headlights worked over time, and one new feature called Belt Minder came out in 2000. These differences show how Ford kept trying to make their electrical systems better as technology got more advanced. Cool, right? So, next time you see a Crown Victoria on the road, take a moment to appreciate the legacy and the distinct differences that make it an icon in its own right. And if you enjoyed our video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and leave a comment. Thank you.